everyone, welcome to EduTap. This is Diksha Raturi and this is the fourth day of the 5 MCQs a day, and the topic for today it is wait, let me start it right. So it is farming system, and this particular this series it is valid for both for NABARD grade A and IBPS AFO examination. All right, so if you can hear me and if I'm clearly audible and visible, so kindly do a thumbs up, right? So, yeah. Wait, let me check something. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, actually it was hung, right? As you can see also. So to our new audience, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can also join our Telegram channel to get the PDF of every lecture that we provide on YouTube. And yeah, so sale is going on, that is of 40% plus additional 10% off in all the courses that we cater, as you can see here also. To avail this offer, you have to use the code weekend, and it is valid till 18th November to 21st November, right? So right, Akhil says all clear. So well, let's start with the chapter. We don't have to go much in other things, right? So first question says, which of the following method is used to increase the yield of rice? Okay, so there are, see, all these are methods of rice. I'll tell you this one. Okay, so one hint I have given you, but you have to tell me that which method is used to increase the yield. All right, so you have to tell me a particular method that is used, right? So I'm waiting for the answers. Come on, yaar, write down fast. I mean, don't take so much time, right? Because in examination, it's very limited time that you have to focus on, both in NABARD and IBPS AFO. So comment down fast. Nobody is typing, I guess. Okay, so Akhil comes up. He says SRI method, right? So yeah, the correct answer to this is option number B. That is SRI method only. What is this? Let's just see. See, nursery method, SRI, depot, all are methods of rice, cultivating rice only, right? But here the question it asked about to increase the yield. Nursery method, it is generally the traditional method that is used. SRI we are going to study just now in second slide. And then is the depot method. In this particular method, basically this is more of a you can say intensified method for better transplanting. It is easier in depot case for transplanting than in nursery method, but here the most appropriate answer, it is SRI. Now what is this? So the full form of SRI is systematic system of rice intensification. All right, S stands for system, R is for rice and intensification. So intensifying rice quantity, that is what the motive is, right? So what happens, SRI practice, it is said to be done when you grow, see, in case of nursery or depot method, you grow many seeds together, right, to have many seedlings. But here in this, the motive is just to grow one seed but to take better care of it, right? So here single seeds are sown with young seedlings, wide spacing. If you have seen rice sowing, they are quite clustered together, but in this case it is the opposite. Then intercultivation, organic fertilization. So see, these are the methods. And what is this, how this water management is done? It is like for some time they'll provide a lot of water in the field, but then after that they do not provide, or the farmer, they avoid watering the field. In this case what happens, see, when such things happens, the root, they move ahead to in the search of water, right? So what happens due to these practices, that they have wider spacing, now for water they have to move downward. What happens, this is the opposite of the normal method, right, in which the flooding is done. So basically due to this, because the roots now they are much longer in comparison to in the traditional cases, what happens, greater root growth happens, right? And then more activity of the roots, they would take place, much of the nutrients uptake would take place, right? Apart from that, what happens, cytokinesis is an enzyme. What happens, because the root, they are taking so much nutrient, they are uptaking so much nutrients, that the leaves quality, the leaf area, the leaf size, the number of leaves, they all increase, right? So what happens to cytokinesis, it is basically an hormone that helps us, that is a growth hormone in case of plants. Okay, so that get activates. Apart from that, what happens, so delayed senescence. What is senescence? That is dying of leaves, because this growth hormone now it is in a much larger amount. Senescence, that is the death of the plants, it get delayed, right? So now what happens? Due to this, two things happen because of the higher intake nutrients also, that is because of the root size increment and delayed senescence. What happened? Increased leaf nitrogen and chlorophyll content. Now what happens? Because now content of nitrogen in the leaves, it would be more, right? Now what happens? Due to this, photosynthesis rate would increase. Now see what is happening because of this, the methods that we followed in SRI, the, you can say, leaf number and their area that increases, due to which there is more nutrient. Photosynthesis would be more. Once the photosynthesis would be more and these area that it is larger in number, increased leaf number and leaf size, what would happen? There would be a lot of photosynthesis that would be done. When that happens, then the panicle formation that would be more. Okay, so this is the basic concept of SRI, due to which not many plants are focused, few plants are sown, and much focus is done on that. And you know, even in this particular method, it is observed that the yield, it has been increased by 20% to 100%. If we go for seed rate, seed rate is basically the seed that you sow in the field for cultivation. It increases, it is decreased by 90%. So means the seed seed rate that you use for the traditional method, in this particular method, 90, it will be reduced to 90%. And then water saving, it is said to be 50%. Like whatever water that you use for traditional method, 50% of it will be consumed in this method. And that is what SRI practice it is all about. Hi Akash, good afternoon. Right, next question, it asks cultivation of crops in areas receiving rainfall in areas, okay, so it has been repeated, from 750 mm to 110 mm per annum is called. Okay, all right. So depending on the amount of rainfall that is fall in a particular area, the areas have been classified here in the following. The farming, basically the farming system, it is classified, and you have to tell me that which of the following is the name of the farming system. All right, so the correct answer to this is option number B, that is dry land farming. All right, so what happens, there are three type of farming according to the amount of rainfall that falls in a particular area. That is dry farming, dry land farming, and rain-fed farming. All right, do remember, if you're going for AFO, they are more specific about these things. What I'll do in between, I'll also go for some previous year questions to tell you what is the format, because examination is just near, but then the syllabus of NABARD and AFO, they both are same, so we'll look at those common portion only. All right, so here see, in case of dry farming, when the average annual rainfall it is less than 750 mm per annum, then it is known as what? Then it's known as dry farming. So below 750, it is dry farming. Between 750 and 1150 mm, as you can see here, it is the dry land farming. And in case of rain-fed farming, it is more than 1150. All right, so below 750, dry farming. All right, so dry, you can assume, you can link it in a way that something is completely dry, right? Not completely, but yes, to remember, this is the stuff that below 750, dry. Okay, between 750 to 1150, it's like dry land farming, and then more than 1150, that is the rain-fed, feeding on rain, that is the rain-fed farming. All right. Now, yeah, because examination, if examination is so near, notification has been released. We have two courses for the people who are appearing for AFO examination, right? So we have two courses accordingly, whichever you prefer. Course 1, it is a detailed video with notes, with summary sheets, with worksheets, with quizzes, everything to make your concepts clear. Apart from that, we have month-wise agriculture current affair magazines, because it is not easier while you go for a normal newspaper or another current affair sources to segregate the agriculture news from the rest of it, but we have your back covered for that. And next is important schemes, whatever that is related to agriculture, you will get under this course. And of course the test series, in which you will have 25 full length mock test and then 30 sectional mock test. Okay, then we have a different course where you, if you do not want to study the topics, you just want to revise it, we have a test series of 25 full length mock test and 30 sectional test, and with detailed explanation of each and every topic. Okay, Akash, see, NABARD, all these, whatever questions I'm teaching, whatever topics I'm teaching, they are NABARD and AFO specific. So you don't get worry that I'm not covering NABARD and AFO. I am covering both the thing. In fact, which is important for which examination, I also cover that. All right. And see, these two courses, these are valid till 31st, 2022. And to avail offer of 50% off, you can use the code early15. Now we'll move ahead to question number 3, which says the crop or climatic region in India that receives 750 mm of average rainfall is called. See, here we are talking about area. In the previous question, we were talking about the kind of farming. Okay, so when we studied about the dry land farming, we were naming the farming. Here, this mm of average rainfall, it is asked for the region. So what is the particular region called? All right. So here the answer, it is option number C, that is semi-arid climatic region. All right. So what are the categorization? Let's look at it. According to the rainfall, the name of climatic region has been assigned here in India. If the rainfall it is less than 500, we call it arid region. All right. So for 500 to 750, it's called semi-arid. So arid, you can assume air. Right, it's dry, it's air. So for less than 500, it's arid. For 500 to 750, it is semi-arid. For 750 to 1000, it is sub-arid. And then if we go for more than 1000, we call that, if that is what, more than 1000 what? That is the mm of rainfall, right? So that particular region, and not farming. Region is known as humid, and for farming, we already know that above 1150, it is rain-fed farming. All right, so do not get confused between the area and farming. That was the question number 3. Now let's come to question number 4, which says dash is a process of growing plants in air or moist environment without using soil. So our technology has come so far that we are not even using soils, and we are basically growing plants in air or mist environment. What is mist environment? Basically the environment where the moisture is present in the air in form of mist. All right. Akash, you can look at the syllabus and then you can think of it. Then Akhil, he comes up, he says aeroponics, right? The correct answer to this is option number aeroponics system only. So I'll show you this photo. This is of that of potato. All right. So for potato, here it is, and as you can see, there is no soil, there is no water, there's nothing. It's just hanging here, right? In a particular base that has been given to it, right? Here these holes have been done because potatoes, they grow under the soil. In normal condition, that is under the soil, but here you can see the base portion, right? So what happens, the water is provided. See, why plants need soil? That is to have a base to stand properly. Here they are getting the base. Apart from that, from the water that is available in the soil, the plants, they take up nutrient. So here what is done, instead of covering that area, what they have done, they just spray the mist in the surrounding, and then water, it just the plant, it absorbs the water from the air, and then this particular thing, it is done, right? And then apart from that, we have hydroponics. So in hydroponic system, so basically similar things happen, but instead of soil, there is just water. So if there is a here water is present, and here if you have sown plants while providing them a base, that would be hydroponics. In aquaponics, basically, if you are using fishes also. So aquaponics, it is a combination of aquaculture, that is the cultivation of fishes and other organisms. But here fishes are being taken into consideration when we say aquaponics, and then plants, right? So fishes, they eat dead plants. They have their other system also, but then yes, if I go simple language, they eat the dead plants, and then and also cleans the water, right? Then next is soil tissue culture system, in which basically tissues, they are taken from the plant, they are sown in laboratory, and once they attain a specific age, or age in case of months, right, then they are sown, right? So that is also. Yeah. So yeah, this is potato that we have already studied. I hope that is clear to you all. Now coming to the 5th question, which says the kind of agriculture where a lot of money and labor are used to increase the yield that can be obtained per area of land is called. In simple language, they just want to ask that type of agriculture where a lot of inputs are used. So you have to tell me if that is intensive farming, extensive farming, crop intensity, mixed farming, or none of the above. All right. So do tell me first, Akhil says extensive farming. Alright, so there is a reason why I added this question, because I knew people are going to confuse between intensive and extensive farming, right? So the correct answer to this is option number A, that is intensive farming, right? So what happens in intensive, in how you can remember, I'll tell you a way. Intense, just go for the word intense. Intense is something that is a lot of efforts you have put in, right? That is, if you say intense feelings or whatever thing, right? Intense task which requires a lot of attention. So in that way you can remember that in intensive farming, a lot of money, labor, fertilizers, whatever inputs are there, they are used in a much larger amount. Then opposite to it is what? It is extensive farming. So in this extensive farming, not much of the labor input, whatever that are required, not much used. I hope from now on you will remember a difference between intensive farming and extensive farming. All right, so yep, that was all for today. That was the 5 MCQs that we have covered. Now your homework is, see, in the first question itself we have done about the SRI method, right? First or second. These all are methods of cultivating rice. You have to tell me the seed rate of the traditional method, basically in which first the seeds are sown in nursery and then in the main field. Then for SRI method and for depot method, because in AFO specifically the seed rate they are asked, right? So you should be aware of that, right? So this is your homework, and comment down below. And here are the toppers of the previous session. So yes, I do take care of if you are answering or not, if you're doing your homework or not. So these are topper here. Thank you, Hilal. And I was really happy that 2 girls, Vaishali and then we have Rishita also, they answered to this question. So that is very good. I noticed that Yuvashri, you answered quite late. But whatever be the reason, next time at least you answered, and next time do remember to answer first, right? Then we had Vijay, we have Vijender, we have AM. Now I don't know AM is a girl or a boy, right? So whoever you are, congratulations, you have done the right answer. We have Vikram, we have confused, right? So these were the toppers who answered them correctly. All the very best and congratulations, and I hope you study forward with same intensity also, right? So yeah, that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope this session was fruitful for you all. See, one more question again, especially for Akash, and if some people who have queries just like Akash have, see, in NABARD and in AFO syllabus is almost same. Why almost? Because AFO everything is asked, in NABARD maximum is asked, right? So I'm covering everything that is in NABARD, but yes, in NABARD there are some favorite chapters of them, right? So if you think like in farming system or agronomy, you're not finding any questions that are relatable to NABARD, because they don't pay much attention to such chapters. Rather than they focus on animal husbandry and water, soil and water conservation. So because this is in course, we are doing so. And if for once question comes, because this time question was from forestry in this November 2021, right? This is the first time they have asked question from forestry, and that too 2 questions. So if questions are asked from these sections, from agronomy or per se farming system, you should be aware of the things that can be asked. So these are the questions that are quite important from the examination point of view. Why important? Because as an agriculture background student, we have an idea that what can be asked, what is important from the examination and what is not. So have faith in us. And yes, that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the session. We'll meet again with another topic. And until then, all the very best for examination. Thank you so much.